is broken. Young people are sick and tired of going deeply into debt for what? Simply to get a college degree at a time when we need the best educated workforce in the world. Climate change is the major crisis facing our country and our entire planet, and yet we have not done anywhere near enough what we have to do to take on the fossil fuel industry and transform our energy system away from coal and oil and gas in order to save the planet. People that I talk to on the campaign trail want to make sure that the water they drink is clean and that we end fracking. Now, what do we have to do? How do we revitalize the Democratic Party? How do we make it easy for people to participate politically rather than have one of the lowest voter turnouts of any major country on earth? Number one, I do believe that we have to replace the current Democratic National Committee leadership. We need a person at the leadership of the DNC who is vigorously supporting and outworking to bring people into the political process. Yeah, I know political parties need money, but it is more important that we have energy, that we have young people, that we have working class people who are going to participate in the political process and fight for their kids and for their parents. We need, at the Democratic National Convention, to approve a progressive platform, the most progressive platform ever passed by the Democratic Party, a platform which makes it crystal clear that the Democratic Party is in fact on the side of working people, is on the side of low-income people, is on the side of people who have no health insurance, and is prepared to stand up to the powerful corporate interest whose greed is doing so much harm to this country. We need real electoral reform within the Democratic Party. And that means, among many, many other things, open primaries. The idea that in the state of New York, the great state of New York, 3 million people could not participate in helping to select who the Democratic or Republican candidate for president would be because they had not registered, because they had registered as an independent, not as a Democrat or Republican, is incomprehensible. We need same-day registration. And that means that anybody in this country can walk in and get registered to vote on the day of a primary or a caucus. We need adequate staffing and training to run elections in a way that is appropriate for our democracy. We now take it for granted, but we should not. In this process, we have gone through a situation in Arizona where people waited online 5 hours in order to cast their votes. How many tens of thousands of people simply gave up the right to vote and walked away? We need to make sure that we have in California, among other states, that the votes get counted. We are taking for granted that in California it will take weeks for votes to actually be counted, and I'm not sure that the votes have yet been counted in Puerto Rico. So we need major changes in the Democratic Party in converting it to a party of the people, welcoming working people, welcoming young people, and we need an electoral process which is worthy of the Democrats. We also need, obviously, to get rid of superdelegates. The idea that we had, in this case, 400 superdelegates pledged to a candidate some 8 months or more before the first ballot was cast is, to my mind, absurd. And we need to also make sure that superdelegates do not live in a world of their own, but reflect the views of the people in their own state. So those are just a few of the changes that I think that has got to take place and that we will be fighting for in the weeks and months to come. Just a few questions. Yes, ma'am.
Senator Sanders?
Yeah.
Jennifer Griffin with Fox News. Why do you continue to refuse to endorse Hillary Clinton? Don't you think your refusal is helping Donald Trump?
Well, I think that what has to happen and what this fight has always been about is transforming America. It is standing up for working people. It is fighting for a progressive agenda which serves the needs of working people and not powerful corporate interests. And we are going to take that fight into the convention in Philadelphia. But let me make it very clear, if I haven't 10,000 times previously, and that I think Donald Trump is totally unfit to be president of the United States. I think running a campaign based on bigotry, based on trying to separate us, based on attacking Latinos and Mexicans and Muslims and African Americans, it is hard for me literally to imagine that in the year 2016, a Republican Party would have a candidate like this. Jeff?
Senator Sanders, 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton nominated Barack Obama and put his name into nomination, and she halted her own roll call vote so he would be nominated by acclamation. Can you see yourself doing the same thing?
We are going to we are going to fight as hard as we can to create a Democratic Party which represents the working families and the low-income people in this country. We are going to be we're starting to talk to them right now. We don't know exactly, but somewhere between 1,900 and 2,000 delegates to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And let me tell you what they want. They want to see the Democratic Party transformed. They want to see the Democratic Party stand up to the wealthy and powerful and start representing the millions of people who are hurting. That is what is on the minds of the people of this country. They want transformation.
So you will not suspend your campaign before this?
Senator, you've said a number of times that you believe it's on Hillary Clinton if she continues to nominee to win over your supporters, so not on you necessarily. Do you believe that she still has to win over your vote as well?
Well, I think that every candidate, I mean, this is what democracy is about. If I want you to vote for me, I'm going to have to make the case to you that I am the best candidate for you and your family. It's called democracy, nothing new. As you all know, I will be meeting, as I understand it, with Secretary Clinton this evening. And I look forward to that meeting very, very much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Will you endorse her tonight?